What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode, another rendition of Studying Cinema with Cozy. And I know it's been a little while since I've done one of these, but we back at it with another video. Today, we're going to be throwing it back with one of the classics from back in the day. We will be reviewing Best Man Holiday starring Taye Diggs and Nia Long, Morris Chestnut, Terrence Howard, and the rest of the cast and crew. It's Not Lathan, you feel me? It's an all-star studded cast, you feel me? With one of the most layered stories that we've seen throughout, a sequel and, its predecessor. If you've seen The Best Man, then you know the kind of the storyline and the characters and the type of people that we're dealing with. So when we get to The Best Man Holiday, it's really no explanation as to why these characters are moving the certain ways that they are. We still got Harper, promoting the book. In this movie, you feel me? Harper has the book out. You feel me? It's a book, describing the life of Morris Chestnut's character. And all throughout the movie, it's a tug and war battle of, promoting the book and trying to make sure that your friends and your family and whoever supports you, and also trying to hide all of the secrets that you wrote up in the book that's about your friends and the people that you're closest to. This is why, based off of my last review, if you guys have seen, I really think that Harper, throughout all of this, is really the main villain. You feel me? You go from writing about your friend, sleeping with his soon-to-be wife, and then, you feel me, masking it. It's almost like Harper is the character to throw a rock and then hide his hand. And I don't know, I just didn't really like the motive behind some of the things that he was doing when it came to this book. Seemed like he was more about exploiting the people around him rather than, enjoying and rejoicing the people around him. But that's neither here nor there. I do think overall the movie, it's a good movie. You feel me? It's one of those movies that you throw on with your girl, or you throw on when you got family around and it's around, the holiday season, since it is a little bit Christmas themed, you feel me? And with all of that being said, you feel me, I do think that in this movie and in this predecessor, compared to other movies that kind of deal with a bunch of relationships and the layers that come with it, these movies are made in a way that's entertaining and that's, showcasing the different dynamics in a respectful way rather than exploiting, these people in these situations. Compared to a movie like, what is that movie? Why Did I Get Married? Compared to a movie like Why Did I Get Married and Why Did I Get Married Too, I feel like those movies are about trauma bonds and just, how much can we show with this couple and how much trauma and negativity can we showcase out of this couple before they overcome their own personal situations. And even when they do overcome those situations, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going on to a better path in those movies. And the Best Man series, it seems like, you feel me, these movies are paced in a way that's steady, you feel me. It's done with a purpose to show, the dynamics of black love and how it has its ups and downs and how your friendships and your relationships balance with each other and how, these relationships that you build as a young adult turn into, another family in a sense, you feel me? We don't really dive into these people's personal lives and the Best Man series to the point where we see how they were brought up individually and how their families, are raising them. We're really seeing the family dynamic displayed through them and their togetherness. And that's one thing I do like about these films, along with, the well-timed comedic relief that we see within these films. I want to get back to some of the main plot points that I saw in this movie that kind of, either rubbed me here or rubbed me there. I do feel like acting overall was stellar. I feel like I do feel like the storyline and the arc that we see with Mia's character is interesting to say the least. We see a woman who went from, being supportive of her husband and really just being walked all over when it came to, being cheated on in the relationship. She got her lick back. They get married. We move on into the future, and now Mia has cancer. And throughout the film, she's dying. And in the end, she does pass away. But it's very interesting how we saw really the ups and downs. Like I said, we saw Mia get walked over in the beginning in the original Best Man. We seen Harper, be the person that she went to lean on, came together with him. Harper is Morris Chestnut's character's best friend, ends up being his best man. The best man of your wedding is the one that slept with your soon-to-be wife in the past, and that's the one thing that she could hold against you and retaliation for all the dirt that you put on her. So we see that storyline play out, and we see how in the end of Best Man, to a certain degree, these relationships come to a good standing. You feel me? We see Mia and her husband get married. We see Taye Diggs go back to his girlfriend and kind of reconcile things within that. And honestly, Taye Diggs' character specifically does a lot of decision making that I just don't agree with. I feel like he knows that he knows who he wants. You feel me? Which is Nia Long's character. And I feel like this whole having one foot in, one foot out, and really just sticking to it just because that's what you ultimately feel is right, because at the end of the day, I feel like Taye Diggs' character chose Sanaa Lathan as a last resort. Not a last resort, but as a comfortability option. May have looked at Nia Long as the woman that he really wanted, but he had to put in more effort, and he had to stop some of the bullshit that he was doing with Sanaa Lathan's character to even be with Nia Long. But that also adds to the point of it being messed up that Harper has one foot in, one foot out, especially in the first film, because knowing what you want versus understanding what you have and making the most of that, you feel me? I feel like that's something that Harper don't know how to handle. He wants both worlds, but doesn't know how to maneuver in either one, if that makes sense. And that's what really spirals all of these other relationships to go awry within these films at certain points. You feel me? You have him and Morris Chestnut bump heads in the first film because of the hiding and the shystiness that was going on. And for all of this to be documented within a book and thrown back into space, it's kind of like, damn, man, were you really my friend in the beginning? And now that we're older, I'm going through my situation with my wife, and really the main thing that showed me that Taye Diggs really do care for Morris Chestnut's character is when Morris Chestnut started breaking down at the funeral, and Taye Diggs was the only one that stayed behind to hold his man's down, you feel me, when he was crying on his knees after his wife had just passed away. But it's moments like that kind of make you think, dang, did he do that because of guilt, or did he do it out of genuine kindness of his heart? Does he really care for these people? I haven't seen the final chapters of The Best Man, but I will watch it. And if I come to find out that Harper is still writing books based off of his friends, his lifestyles, you feel me, it's really going to turn into man, Harper really just surrounds himself with these people to exploit them at this point. And it's who is Harper at the end of the day? The man that just wants everything but doesn't really put in the real effort to get what he wants, and it's just a person that fantasizes about stuff because he's an author, you feel me? A lot of thoughts are in his head and stay in his head.
I invited you to my house. I'll let you back in. I'll let you back in and... Wait. Now, at this time...
Wait a minute, Lance, wait.
No, you wait a minute. Look at this. First, throw your arts, guiding principles. You understand my kids?
Lance!
All that bullshit, babe. Just go to the car. You let me handle this. You hear me? I got this. Mia. Hey, don't you say a motherfucking thing, now. You ain't nothing but a goddamn snake in the grass. That's what you are.
See, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. Harper did wrong, man.
Forever this time. You hear me?
Harper wrong. Because he's exploiting his friend at this point, man. And Mia, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. Mia and Harper, that dynamic duo right there, I got so much to say, but not enough words to say it, man. It's, whew. I don't like how people try to make Lance, a.k.a. Morris Chestnut's character, to seem like he's tripping. This man is not tripping. In the first movie, we see how writing the book and the acts that Taye Diggs' character did with Mia in the past affected Lance and his mental state. Now, I understand at the end of the day, Lance, if he had never cheated on Mia, none of this would have ever happened, but the whole back and forth and the gaslighting game that they playing with these books and these in the past, and it ain't sitting well with the friendship. You feel me? It don't really showcase somebody that's really your friend. You don't write a biography about your so-called best friend and then hide it from him after you done already wrote a book talking about your college friendships and talking about your friends in general and how that originally rubbed them the wrong way. Man, Harper, man, he a piece of work, dog.
Forever. Let's go, Becky. Let's go.
Listen, Lance, talk to me.
No, I'm done talking. Let's get in the car.
What'd you do now?
Lance, calm down.
How can I calm down? I let my guard down. I got sucker punched. Again.
You don't know the full story.
I know enough of the story.
You think you do, but we won't know until we speak with
No,
Harper.
fuck Harper. Fuck him.
Right. Here it is.
What?
You're so filled with anger and it's all aimed at him, but we all played a part in it.
We have never had this discussion before, and we are not about to start right now.
Tell me how angry you are at me. I deserve it. I knew what I was doing. I knew I was wrong. And I knew it would hurt you. And I'm sorry for that. And I'm sorry that I chose him.
See, and that right there proves everything that I said in my first review about Mia. Man, this woman knew what she was doing. Like I said, I understand if Lance had never cheated, she would have never retaliated. But I feel like you gotta draw the line in the sand somewhere, because to cheat on your fiance, boyfriend, husband, whatever, with his best man / best friend, closest person, whatever the case, it's a low blow. Especially if y'all all went to college together and you guys all are kind of on this trajectory of being in each other's lives for the foreseeable future. That's a low blow. And that's something that I don't think anybody would be able to get over, especially if they gotta see that person on a semi-consistent basis. So, me personally, I think that Lance's reaction is justified. I think he has a right to be angry. I mean, he has a right to be angry at both parties. Mia for cheating and sleeping with his best friend, and Lance for exploiting his life. Really, both of them played a part in kind of tearing him down mentally, in a sense. But that don't take away from Lance's wrongdoings in the very beginning. But it's like, dang, man, for the man to be in college and to be on the trajectory of making it to the NFL, and we talking about the '90s, man, I really do feel like some of the dynamics within this is kind of like, just, man, like, dang, you, like she said, she did not have to choose Harper to do that with. She could have got her lick back, yeah, but she knew what she was doing by choosing Harper, and that's something that's like a lifelong type of hurt versus just a temporary hurt that he could get over when it's somebody that he don't really know.
It's my fault what it's done to you two, and I can't rest knowing that you're still holding on to this.
You chose him.
It's weighing you down. You need to let go. You need him.
I don't need him.
Yeah, you do.
And we're gonna talk about that. Do Lance really need Harper in his life? And me personally, I don't think so. Lance was successful on his own. Harper was there to help him in certain situations, but in those same situations, he put that in the book. He put that in the book to exploit him. So it's like all of the real authenticity that Lance was yearning for from Harper is stripped away because of these books, along with the fact that Harper played a part in, sleeping with his woman. It was a 50-50 thing. It was mutual. And like it kind of sucks to have to just settle with the fact that, I gotta have this person in my life after they done did me wrong and continue to do me wrong. But hey, I see that this is like the arc of forgiveness for Lance. Like I said, I haven't seen the final chapters. I don't really know how the story ultimately ends. But within this phase, this arc is focused on making sure that Lance learns how to forgive, not necessarily forget, but just forgive and accept. Forgive and accept.
You need to forgive.
I will never forgive him.
I need you to. Lance, look at me.
The thing is about this movie is too many emotions at play for anybody to say or act how they truly feel at times. We know Lance is hurting. We know he really don't give a damn about Harper at this point. But we also know Lance loves his woman more than anybody else in these movies. So he obviously chooses the comfort of his lady versus, his own ego. But I guess that's part of the arc too, just letting go of the ego, because the ego is what had him cheating and acting the way that he was acting in the first place. He really had to go through some obstacles to let go of that ego. And ultimately his wife getting cancer and passing, and him having to forgive his friends on behalf of, honoring his wife and, just being the man that he wanted to be for her. You feel me? It's a lot of letting go that Lance has to do. And it ain't easy for the average person at all to have your woman cheat on you. And then, you know, with it being with your best friend, best man, and then everyone still being in your life, it's not hard. It's not easy to necessarily deal with. But we see like I said, the layers of everything is what adds to it. The college friendship, the sports life, the artistic outlook, the being on the outside looking in when it comes to relationships. All of that plays a part into how these people interact and deal with each other. And with it being black, authentically black, I feel like these movies, like I said, do a good job of just showing raw emotion at sometimes and showing how these situations that, you know, some people may deem as like a black and white situation, like, oh, you should just leave if someone cheats, or you should just move on and, you know, find better for yourself. A lot of these situations aren't necessarily cut and dry and black and white when you have to deal with people's, you know, emotions, health, and, you know, other layers of the relationship that goes into play. It's a lot. And I feel like even though some of these situations and scenarios wouldn't necessarily flesh out in this particular manner in someone's everyday life, I do feel like this is a realistic take on how, you know, college friends / couples grow up together and how, you know, their lives interject and interact with one another, and how, you know, the foundation of something is really the most important thing. The foundation that these characters had in college with Nia Long's character and Tate and Harper and Mia, and then Mia and Lance. All of the uncertainty, all of the, you know, the selfishness, the uncertainty, the unwillingness to just let go, caused those four characters specifically, to be in a situation where they're searching for everything they want in other people and finding themselves stagnant and finding themselves, you know, not meeting the level of standard that they want to meet. Not necessarily between Mia and Lance, but more so between Harper and Nia Long's character. With Mia and Lance, it's more so like a push and pull of the egos, and like I was saying before, it's really a battle of the egos, and other than ego, it's really just accountability and acceptance battle, you know, between them. Neither one of them are willing to accept the situation for what it is and each other for who they are, you know. As far as the other relationships in this movie go, I do feel like Terrence Howard, you know, like he's the comedic relief in this movie. I do feel like there's an interesting arc that they take with Regina Hall's character, and how she and her, you know, situation come around. But I can't get off of this Harper situation, man. Harper, man, he's really just the main villain in these movies, man. And I cannot. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. I'm gonna make sure I take my time and watch this Best Man final chapters. You feel me? But a lot of my ultimate decision on how I feel about these characters is going to be based off of how they end all of this. But right now, I'm still sticking with Harper being a villain, Mia being wrong, Lance being wrong, and honestly, I ain't gonna say everybody in this movie got some sort of, you know, dirt, I should say, or some sort of like a negative side to them. You feel me? Whether it be playing too goddamn much or just, you know, cheating. But when it comes to the gravity of the situations and how much they affected everyone around them, Harper is and will forever be the main catalyst of a lot of these situations. And Lance, if he was never a famous college football player, I guess he would have never been cheating in the first place. But that's also why Mia wanted him, because of the football lifestyle and the fame and the celebrity status. So it's like, man, kind of torn right there. But all in all, it's an enjoyable movie. It's one of those movies that, along with the first one, you watch them enough, you start to pick up on more and more things every time you watch them when it comes to the dynamics of these relationships. And as you get older, you start to put a lot more pieces together. A lot more, understanding is had when it comes to these movies. So I can still say that, these two movies still hold up. Best Man and Best Man Holiday, but Best Man Holiday still holds up. I feel like these two movies are classics within their own right. You feel me? Good black rom-com movies with a little bit of drama and story to tell. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I appreciate y'all tuning in to this episode of Studying Cinema. Bit on the longer side with this one, but like I said, I had to get all my feelings out about this Harper and Mia situation. And I really still ain't really fleshed all of it out, like I said. But when I wrap up that series, I'm going to get back to it with this last review on the Best Man series. And we'll probably have a full discussion on everything at that point. But make sure y'all like and subscribe. Tune in to the next video. Leave a comment on what you guys want to see reviewed next, whether it's a classic movie, a new movie, you feel me, a TV show, a series that's long or short, you feel me? It don't matter. Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling, and I'll get back to y'all in the next video.